Look out, Bengali!
Welcome back to Tea and Toys. Right, so we've got Wave 2 of the Super 7's Ultimates figures. And as you can see, on the left-hand side, we've got the original ThunderCats Classics Pumyra. So yeah, let's get these two out of their boxes. Give them a quick spin before that happens. The artwork's slightly different. Well, let's not delay. Let's get her open. Well, here is the Super 7 version of Pumyra out of the box. I'll get the other one out when we get ready to do the comparing. So let's take a look at the primary focus of the video. We get Pumyra, who unfortunately was plagued with being just too tall in the original release. A lot of people didn't like that face, and the face went back and forth. The Super 7 said this character has again been the topic of much debate in the ever-aging ThunderCats fandom. You see mine's got a little ding there, so she's not perfect in this release either. And if I'm honest, like getting out Lino, I know he's based on the older classics He-Man Buck, but he's still just shorter than Pumyra. So I don't know what they can do with Chitara when she comes out, but it seems to be a thing with the female figures. Even back with the old Master of the Universe line, the females always seem to be just a little bit too tall. I don't understand how they still didn't manage to get this right. She needs to be, what, this big? I don't get it. So when I get the other one out, she's going to be like massively taller. That's by the by. Let's see what Pumyra comes with again. Like with other female figures from the classic stuff or ultimate stuff, all the same articulation. She doesn't have the so actually, funny enough, they did actually improve on the pinless elbows with Pumyra. Just noticed that looking at the other one just there. So there, and the knees as well again. But whereas Lino, Panthro, Jackalman, they didn't get this upgrade, whereas Pumyra did. I'm guessing that's the fact that she was put back a little bit longer than the others. Well, completely longer than the others. She was only meant to be Wave 2, but Wave 2 has been released after Wave 3 and Wave 4 in some instances for other people around the world. So what do we get? We get a head sculpt, which, again, this went back and forth, back and forth. It just looks like resting bitch face. And it's not my favourite. It's not my favourite. She doesn't look, I don't know, pretty, beautiful. Like the original like animated look, she is like a pretty female Thundercat. And then we also get with that the alternate head, which is Snarling Head, which is a little bit better, I think, ultimately. And she comes with her like I'll call it a whip. I can't remember the name right now, but you spin it and you sort of chuck items with it. And I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is anymore. But yeah, oh, that's really rubbery. And then she comes with, again, a rather rubbery version of the throwy star thing that she gets. Yeah, much like all the other characters, you can't take off the, because that's what this is, wrapped around it like this. This is her sort of main weapon. I'm sure she also has a crossbow, so it's a shame that, again, we didn't get a crossbow with Pumyra. Fingers crossed we'll get something extra to replace that Tigra elbow bracelet. So that's Pumyra in a nutshell, if I'm honest. Again, opinion, still too tall. Still too tall. Maybe they didn't want to overdo too much tooling. I can understand, it's expensive. She's been back and forth, back and forth. Other things went back and forth. The mistakes on Panther, the mistakes on Jackalman, and now the mistakes on Tigra. I just feel like ThunderCats just seems to be plagued with a bit of a poison chalice. You know, we've had a bad, more recent cartoon, the 2012 cartoon, which was stopped far too early. And again, Pumyra in that series, a little quick segue, she actually becomes villainous towards the end, and I think that was a brave approach. At the time, I didn't like it, but with the release of another figure, which is up in Wave 4, gives me an idea of connecting some of that, so you can still have maybe a villainous past for Pumyra's tribe. Yeah, so a character that I have a little idea with. Again, on some boards, people had debates in regards to this, and I was firmly on one side. But when he comes, I'll go through it a little bit more. So let's get the other tall Pumyra out, the taller Pumyra, out of a box, and let's do a proper comparison. And here we have both Pumyras out of their boxes. The left-hand side is the older Mattel version, with the right-hand side being the Super 7 version. And I think you can see, even in this light, that the boots are different colours, the belts are different colours. That's obviously a gloss finish on the Mattel version and a matte finish on the Super 7 version. The ThunderCats symbols slightly bigger on the Super 7 version, where it's smaller and lower on the Mattel one. And I think you've got a gold bracelet compared to a bronze bracelet on the Super 7 one. Same with the neck as well. So it's gold on the old, bronze on the new. Do it from the back. Not much difference there. As you can see, you got the old elbow and knee pegs, and you can see from there that how much taller the older one is. And I still think the newer one is still too tall. Let's get Lino out for comparison. There's little Lino. No, this isn't the junior version. Little army builder there with Pumyras. So there they are, both of them, with Lino. Again, still too tall. Still way too tall, but they're not going to change it now. This is the one we've got. So that's the option. Here's her. And you can see you've got more of a pink tone to her lower arms and hands compared to more of a yellowy tone on the older one. And if I'm honest, I actually think the old head is better. And to think this one went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and people not liking this one. But as it turns out, I actually think this is the better head. So what I'm going to do is I am going to swap them out to see what the old head looks like on the newer body. So let's do that now. It's good to see that it fits. And if I'm honest, I think that looks better. I think that looks 100 times better. Not this, what appears to be like a resting bitch face on this other one. Yeah, this head is better. She's not pouty. She doesn't look cross. She just looks like neutral. So, three of the heads together. It's actually quite cool that I did keep back this older Pumyra. But I think it's actually the head that I prefer the best. Although the cheeks aren't as prominent, but you can still see them. The paint job's still there, whereas a lot more prominent on the newer head. But yeah, the only other difference with the accessories is the Mattel version of the throwing star thing is grey, whereas the Super 7 one is like a metallic finish. So this is the version of Pumyra I'm going to keep. Here's the old head on the new body. And what I did notice is that she doesn't hold this star weapon very well at all, either version. So that's kind of annoying. But there she is, Pumyra. Finally redone, so it'll be interesting to see what Cheetara turns out like. So let's get our army of ThunderCats all ready. See, Panther looks so short now. So I guess we'll be waiting for Bengali, Linkso, Wily Cat, and Snarf. Yes, he is very much a full-fledged ThunderCat. And I think I'll be tempted with Jagara, a female like wizard type character living in the centre of Thundera. Terrible backstory. I hate that whole gyro thing in the middle of Thundera. Just make a really cool like older ThunderCat, akin to say like Jaga, but a female version. So there we are. That is the current group shot of ThunderCats that we have. Well, what do you think of Pumyra? How are you going to display yours? Do you still have your old one to swap out the heads? So don't forget to love, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next video.